the IFP was going to be the party that was going to address the concerns of the community, saying they felt that they have a clear plan on jobs, they have a clear plan on education, they have a clear plan on health, and which of course was some of the priority areas that the IFP had said that they want to deal specifically with. They want to see improvement in education, and the IFP president going through in detail what their plans for that are. Of course, the economy as well. Many people, Tsepiso, who were there saying that a lot of people were the youth and saying that they wanted to find out from the party what their plans were, particularly for young people, for skills development. But most importantly, as you know, the challenge faced in South Africa at the moment is the job crisis. And so they're quite happy in saying that they believed that the party is one that has a good track record. In fact, the party president, Inkosi Mangosuthu Buthelezi, repeatedly saying that they governed in KwaZulu-Natal between 1994 and 2004. And there was a lot that they achieved in those 10 years, and there was still more that they wanted to do. And basically pleading, Tsepiso, with the electorate to say, we did well, we left a legacy, we have a good track record, and their main message was trust us. That was plastered all over the stadium, saying trust us on the economy, trust us on building a better South Africa.
The fact that the launch took place in Chartsworth obviously is significant, and I saw you spoke to one of the IFP leaders there saying that they are obviously trying to reach out to the Indian community. Were there members of the Indian Chartsworth community that were there, and what was their response to the election manifesto that was launched?
Yes, in fact, one of the guests just on that, Tsepiso, that I spoke to was Pastor Salvan Govender, and he has been quite instrumental in working on the ground for the IFP. They've now set up a ward. They now has a leadership in Chartsworth, and he's saying that a lot of people there, the Indian community, as Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi did say, they have a history with the Indian community, and they want to try and make inroads in there, and so they're already establishing themselves. And the party saying that it really wants to focus on these community, particularly or the minority groupings, but particularly the Indian community, and well received. There was a good turnout from the locals from Chartsworth, and many of them quite pleased in saying that they feel that the IFP could be an alternative and the party that they're going to be supporting or voting for in this coming election.
And just overall, does the IFP think that it can reach more supporters outside of KwaZulu-Natal?
Well, that's the big question, Tsepiso. I mean, a lot of it, if you see the IFP focus mainly in KwaZulu-Natal. In fact, if you look at how they speak about their prospects and what they're looking for, they have their sights set keenly on governing here in KwaZulu-Natal, and they've admitted to the fact that nationally they at least want to be a strong opposition party. They are saying that they are going to be going out. Of course, they do have, I think, one representative in Gauteng, but today they had support also coming from Mpumalanga as well, a few from the Western Cape, and so they're saying that they are going to be going out to try and grow their support outside of the province. But of course, Tsepiso, you'll know that the heart of the IFP is here in KwaZulu-Natal, and that's really possibly going to be most of their focus is going to trying to regain lost ground as well here in KZN, knowing that the party has dipped in its support from around 2011, of course, with the birth of the NFP and a lot of people leaving the party then.
All right, thank you very much, Ayanda Mhlongo, my colleague in our Durban studios, and of course we will be unpacking that shortly. Now let's go back to the plane crash. Head of Communications at the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, Ndubuo Mabaya, on the line with us. So very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Mabaya. Let's just first start with any communication, if at all, that South Africa may be having with the government of Ethiopia.